And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the stream. My name is Talisian. There you are, and here I am. And today on Fantasy Friday, we're going to be doing Lord of the Rings Online. Currently, we have the anniversary event that has just started with a whole new zone. And so today I was going to go ahead and head over there and take a look at some of Minas Tirith, because I've never been to Minas Tirith on the 64-bit server. For those of you who are not very familiar with it, Minas Tirith was an absolute disaster on the 32-bit service. Hopefully it will be a lot better on the 64-bit. And but what I would like to start with, actually, is a little bit of news, because there was no Lord of the Rings Online today, and there were a few things that I wanted to take a minute or two to kind of go over. One of the first, and I will have these links down below on for those of you who are following this on YouTube. First things first, just a reminder for everybody, we've got some information. There's a whole page from June 13th about information on closure of the 32-bit game worlds. They've gone ahead and decided, with the success of the 64-bit servers, that they are going to close all the 32 bits. There's a free transfer period for now from the 32-bit to the 64-bit, and there's much more information there. Again, I will have a link down below for those of you who are following along later on. But basically, what they said is, we are writing to share important information with you about our closure of our 32-bit game worlds after August the 31st, 2025. In recent months, we've been deploying new 64-bit game worlds and offering free transfers for players to continue their journey on these updated game worlds. This message will update you on the future of the 32-bit worlds, free transfers, current and future dark worlds, the old forums, and what to do as a kinship leader, and more. Again, the link will be down below, but basically, most of the 32-bit game worlds will be closing at 11:59 p.m. on August the 31st. Arkenstone, Belagir, Brandywine, Crick Hollow, Evernight, Gladden, Gwahir, Landreval, which I was on, Laurelin, Cyranon, and Treebeard, which is one of the legendary servers. I think it's the slow legendary server is what I want to say. Now, there are currently transfers available, and the reason why I mentioned Landreval is I've actually transferred all of my characters from Landreval to Peregrine, which is one of the permitted transfers. It was one click, it was very easy, and within a day or less, I had all of my characters, all of their possessions, kin house, well, excuse me, not kin house, but housing items and such was all transferred over. It was a very easy process. They've really worked out a lot of the details that they were having and issues that they were having before with it. And some of the further questions here is, one of the things they mentioned is free transfer period will come to an end at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, August the 31st, and the temporary 100% housing return rate will also end and be restored to its standard 90% return. And there's information about what kin leaders need to do. We are setting Treebeard to its final level cap of 130 on June the 18th. This will become available when our game worlds reopen following their typical weekly maintenance. And thank you for everyone who experienced our slower-paced Treebeard Legendary World. Now, I've actually done a little bit of adventuring on Treebeard. I liked it. I liked the slower pace. I liked I could relax and just quest at my own leisure. It was very fun. I had zero issues on Treebeard. It's a shame. But currently, these are the worlds that they have listed open that you can transfer to. In the US, Sting, Glamdring, and Peregrine, which is the US role-playing server, and that's just a designation. And for those of you in the EU, Grand, Orcust, and Meriadoc, which is the European role-playing server. Does this change anything about our current transfers? No, we are currently offering free transfers in the previously closed Dark Worlds on an as-is basis. And the following worlds are currently available for players to transfer from, and that's a long list right there, some US and some EU servers. And these transfers will also continue to be available until 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, August the 31st. Now, initially, no. After that, if your characters are stuck there, they will be stuck there. They don't have... let's see. After this time, our 32-bit game worlds will close. Please note that we intend to reopen these 32-bit game worlds as dark worlds for 2 years, during which time players will be able to transfer their characters from these worlds to our 64-bit worlds. However, they do not have a confirmed timeline as to when transfer is available. So if you were on any 32-bit world, I highly encourage you to transfer off of that world. And then they're also changing the old forums. The previously closed and read-only forums will be sunset. So if there's any information that you want off of those forums, they will also be closing at 11:59 p.m. on August the 31st. So that's just basically what's going on. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the rotating 64-bit transfer schedule. Currently today, as the recording of this video, is the 20th of June. Currently, if you are on the EU, you can go from Meriadoc to Grand, or from Orcust to Meriadoc or Grand. And the US, you could do from Peregrine to Sting, or Glamdring to Peregrine or Sting. And then 25th, July 2nd, and so forth. They list the servers right there, the orders that you can transfer to. After this time frame, free transfers between these worlds will no longer be payable, but trade transfers will be. So if you want the free transfer off the 32-bit worlds before they sunset, or to these 64-bit to 64-bit worlds to kind of even out the population, free transfers will no longer be available after this time frame. Now, one of the next pieces of information is actually more of a fun one. That's the end of the server transfer stuff, but it's Midsummer Festival time. Now, that's part of what this stream is going to be about today. So I'm going to be going ahead and going over some of the new things that are there. But one of the things that they mentioned is that they're opening up a whole new zone just for the Midsummer Festival. It's called Further Home. New for this year's Midsummer Festival, you are invited to visit a far-off tropical island of Furtherholm, located in the Shield Isles off the coast of Umbar in the Bay of Belfalas. A crew of freebooters have retired from a life at sea to open the island as a retreat for travelers from all parts of Middle-earth. Come and enjoy the sun, surf, and collect rewards for lending a hand. All previous festivities, locations, and events associated with the Midsummer Festival will remain available as well, so this is an extra area you can go to. And I think we're going to go ahead and probably head over there a little bit today too, take a look around a little bit. And as a reminder, the Midsummer Festival started on the 19th, started yesterday, and it continues until 3 a.m. on July the 8th. So you've only got about a couple of weeks or so to do this. Let me do this here. There we go. Much better. So you've only got about 3 weeks or so to enjoy the festival. Yeah, I know, it gets me off center. And then for those of you who are not familiar with Minas Tirith, there's information on this page as well. And again, link will be down below about how to get around Minas Tirith, what the quests are. Marilyn, whose quests become available after you finish the epic quest line, just as the wedding. Yes, the wedding of Aragorn and Arwen is its own book in the wedding. The actual wedding ceremony between Arwen and Aragorn takes place in a series of quests associated with Volume 5, Book 1 of the epic story. To get started, with Book 5, Volume 5, Book 1, A Time of Celebration, speak with King Elisar, who is Aragorn, just outside of the Tower of Echelon in Minas Tirith, Midsummer. The wedding ceremony itself will take place in Chapter 7, A Wedding at Midsummer. We'll probably work through some of that either this stream or next, because it's some of the scenes and the wedding, I think, is some of the best stuff they did. I really enjoyed it. But here's a quick picture right near of some of Furtherholm, thanks to Standing Stone Games. So that's going to be the heart of today's stream. Is going to be Furtherholm and Minas Tirith. So hopefully you'll join me for that. And the last thing that I just want to cover really quickly, there are sales, of course. This week's specials is 35% off legendary item services, 60% off a venturing pack, 85% off war speed upgrades and cosmetics through the 26th. And there's also 30% off Virtue Acceleration, Enhanced Rep Supply, and Mark Acquisition boosts. And the weekly coupon is the Pig in a Blanket housing decoration, which has not been made available on any of the servers for a while, from what I understand. So the coupon code is I Sleep Here, and it's available until the 26th. That's one of the things we'll go ahead and do. But let's go ahead and get into game. I am currently in Bree, but we are going to make our way to the party tree and such, and we're going to go ahead and get to Midsummer and enjoy the festival. So it is a very celebratory occasion. And let me go ahead and change my thing to there. So again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today. Looking forward to this. I really like the Midsummer Festival. It's one of my personal favorite festivals in the game. Just the way that Minas Tirith has looked over the past few years, and now with the adding of Furtherhome, I'm really looking forward to this festival. Now, because it's a Hobbit's birthday, every day is a Hobbit's birthday, we are the fortunate ones to get the gifts. And today's gift is 150 Virtue XP and a Potion of Rapid Crafting. Nice. Definitely usable. We'll go ahead and put that. I'll put this in my shared storage, because I don't need it right this minute. All right. Let me pull up something here real quick. Now, I've already been in game today. This is my character on Angmar, and we already had the Nazgul pop up this morning at like 8 a.m. Pacific time. So I've been up early. That's why I'm a little tired today, because I've been up since way too long. But part of that is you get an actual map to Minas Tirith Midsummer. So we're going to go ahead and use that first. And that way that'll also get me the stable. Now, spoiler alert time. Spoilers, big, massive spoilers. You don't normally come to this zone until way farther in the story. And you actually don't come to this part of it until literally the end of the main story of Lord of the Rings Online. Oh, why is this doing this here? There. There we go. Oh, come on. Fine, be that way. I'll just sit like this. Okay. This is such a beautiful zone. They really went all out when they did the ceremony. I'm actually surprised it's available on Angmar. I actually wasn't expecting this to be made available on Angmar so soon. I'm actually very glad it was. But one of the first things you do the very first time, and only the very first time that you do any of these quests, you talk to this Midsummer Reveler here who has a quest icon above their head.
Greetings, traveler.
Welcome, welcome. Midsummer has come at last. If you wish to join the festivities, you should present yourself to King Elisar. The king deserves to welcome all travelers to Minas Tirith. It is quite the city, and there is no good in trying to celebrate if you do not know the way. May you have a merry, merry midsummer. And in order to do that, you want to come over here. Oh, by the way, as always with any festival, there is a wrapper quest that must be that must be that you have to do if you want to get involved in the full festival. And Phaolith, who's right here near the city stables, has the wrapper, and also right here is the festival travel to Further Home. So once you get here, you immediately have access to Further Home as well.
What a wondrous midsummer.
Welcome, friend. Have you come to join our celebration of Midsummer? I should hope so. Although Minas Tirith has endured many dark days, this new revelry has heartened the people of Gondor and the lands beyond. And not a moment too soon, I think. Between countless weddings, feasts, parties, and other activities, it's not difficult to find yourself in the spirit of Midsummer. For those who exemplify that spirit, and for those who find their way out to our taverns, I may just have some special gifts to hand out as a token of our appreciation. Now, this is the repeatable quest. This is the wrapper quest, the overall wrapper. Completing a fondness for festivity, the intro, that's how you do 10 quests over a number of days, gets you this, and then it goes up. And if you notice, the rewards are absolutely fantastic. Figments of Splendor, a scrap of an Essence Reclamation Scroll, 5 Midsummer tokens, a Universal Optional Crafting Ingredient, and a Legendary Tracery token. One of the things that's very, very hard to get. That's how you get the most powerful traceries for your legendary item, as well as legendary experience.
May your heart be light, and your joys be many.
Whether you join in the revelry here in Minas Tirith or in far-off lands, it is certain you will find yourself amongst merry company. We ask only that you celebrate the spirit of Midsummer. And this is the daily 10 quests that you're supposed to do in any of the Midsummer celebrations, which includes the Bree horses and the Shire horses, anything at the party tree. Let me see, where else is the fun going to be? I'm just trying to look at all the places about where the quests are. Yes, there's quests in Breetown, Sealandim, Dulliand, at the Party Tree, and at Thorin's Hall. There are quests for Midsummer as well as all of the quests available further on. So this is the daily that you get right here. And then, of course, there is always a fondness for festivity, which is completing in celebration of Midsummer, and that's where you get the 1,000 virtue experience, some more figments of splendor, another universal optional crafting ingredient, and so forth. This is the intro. Now, I have another video that I follow that literally has a walkthrough, a nice path. I'm not going to do that today. I may go ahead and repeat that some other time. Honestly, right now, what I really want to do is kind of explore a little bit here in Midsummer, Minas Tirith, and one of the first things we need to do is we need to go to, let's see. That's weird. I'm not seeing. Ah, okay. I have to make my way there first, unless I want to pay for it. So I guess what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to manually, the first time, make our way through Minas Tirith. So we're going to get firsthand to see how Minas Tirith is on the 64-bit worlds, because we're going to be making the run all the way up the castle. Normally around here, this is where the slowdowns would happen, with all of these people. And here's the map. There you go. It's been a year since I've been here, so I might get a little lost. But as you can see, this place, it was on the 32-bit servers, this place was just absolutely crowded as all get out. It was very hard to navigate and move around. It was very hard to make any sort of progress in the city. Now I gotta find where the where is it? Probably around here. Here it is. The city of Minas Tirith, you can look here on the map, is built in layers. We're currently on the workers tier. There's the soldiers tier, the craftsman's tier, the turn off, clear all. Is workers tier, soldiers tier, craftsman's tier, players tier, sages tier, masters tier, and then the citadel. Now we need to go all the way up to the citadel in order to see King Elisar. And we also have to pick up all of the stables along the way.
These are troublesome times.
Oh, actually, I only needed to pick up one. There we go. So, not usable mounted. So let me go ahead and dismount.
Gondor needs your aid.
So we will go ahead and pick up the high stables, and that will take us almost all the way to... I think I actually need to dismount. Yep. Because we actually need to go back over here in order to get the way up to the... there it is. This will take us all the way up to the very end. I'm glad I actually did not have to do that. It's been a while since it was my first time at Midsummer. I've run other characters through it before, but for the first time it's... And this right here is the... this is where the castle is, right here. Now... Marilyn, the Midsummer Wedding Planner, will give you quests, other quests to finish, once you finish the wedding ceremony itself. Book 5, Chapter 1, I do believe it is. Yes, Volume 5, Book 1, Chapter 7. Marilyn will open up a whole another set of quests that you can do. And that's where a lot of the quests that I have, that's the kind of the chain that I follow. And right next to her is, as you get Midsummer tokens, this is where you can turn them in, and all the new items are here. The seaside. Well, let's take a look at it. That's the seaside gear. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. But that's the new gear that is available for picking up with Midsummer tokens. It looks like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It looks like 60 Midsummer tokens will get you this entire setup. And there's also a steed, and then of course all of their different guilds, different trappings to the steed as well. And then of course Mysteria planters and Jacaranda planters and such. But you get all of your Midsummer rewards from her right up here at the right here at the Citadel for Midsummer. But we need to come over here. Is it in here? The Tower Echelon, yes. This place is just amazing. And I will have to say, I am very impressed with the 64-bit servers and their performance so far. It is very nice. Wow. Isn't this beautiful? This is amazing. And right there is King Elisar. To bow before the king, of course. He is the king of Gondor at this point. Like I said, spoilers. Hail and welcome to Minas Tirith. Midsummer has long been a tradition for my people, and I am pleased to welcome you to join in our celebrations. I have much to do, but Marilyn will see that you find yourself among spirited company. May you have a joyous midsummer. And Marilyn is the she was one that we talked to outside. But we're going to go ahead today, and we're going to
return to my city with war safely behind us.
We are going to go ahead and run Book 5, do the wedding of Aragorn and Arwen. Shantrantra, my friend, I am pleased you can return to my city in time of peace with war safely behind us. We cannot lower our guard overmuch, it is true, but Mithrandir and the Council of Gondor both assure me that the threat of further war is at low ebb for now. My mind therefore turns from martial matters to those of the heart, for a day long prepared is nearly upon us. As you well know, Arwen, my betrothed, travels even now to Minas Tirith, where we shall be wedded before all of Gondor. She will be the queen of my kingdom. Long have we waited for this day. It is very important to me and to my love that the ceremony be conducted properly, but my knowledge of such matters is not sufficient. Mithrandir insists that he has an understanding of the rituals, but some members of the council question the depth of his knowledge concerning the customs of Gondor. The council therefore selected a number of Gondorian representatives to decorate the city and make ready the ceremony. The woman responsible for the wedding ceremony is named Rodwin, and I would ask that you lend her your able assistance if you have the time and inclination. Arwen will be here soon with her household, and I want all the preparations to be made before she arrives. Talk to Rodwin, the wedding planner, in the throne room of Minas Tirith Midsummer. And there she is right here. Expert Planner of Weddings. I like that title.
Yes, hello. You are to help with the preparations?
Yes, hello. Shantrantra, is it? I see. You are to help me make ready for the wedding ceremony? I assure you we have things well in hand. Rodwin appears visibly nervous, and seems to be having some trouble meeting your gaze. Let us meet somewhere to discuss the preparations, Shantrantra. There's no point in disturbing the king with such details. Surely you agree. Let us find a quiet spot to discuss them. If you leave the Tower of Ecthelion and turn north, you will see a doorway spanned by a garland of flowers. Slip past that garland and climb the steps to the wall, and that is where I will meet you. Okay, that's an interesting place to meet somebody, but if you insist. And for those of you who are curious, it takes me, once I get back into the swing of things, it usually takes me about 45 minutes to an hour or so to do the 10 quest cycle here in Minas Tirith that I'm aware of. I've never done the further home quest, so that's where I'm going to be focusing today on. But I wanted to do this quest here on stream. North of the Tower of Thalan. There we go. Beyond a doorway spanned by a flower garland. I think this must be it. The High Guest House. Or maybe not. Let's see. Maybe not. I'm not sure where. I thought I was in the right place. Rodwin is up some stairs north of the Tower of Echelon beyond a doorway spanned by a flower garden. So she is upstairs. Okay. I was heading the right way. People are so very happy to celebrate. That is as soon as I can find Rodwin. Is she in here? Okay, then maybe I am in the wrong building. That can happen. There's one thing, I am not the greatest of adventurers. You down here? I thought that was it, though. Let's check, make sure I'm in the right place. Sharp turn west at the entrance to the high guest house. Ah, she's right over here. There she is. I see her icon. Now I gotta get up to her. Ah, there it is. It's so interesting why she would have me meet her here. I mean, it's a beautiful sight. I mean, take a look at this. This is gorgeous. And the game is definitely running much better on the 64-bit servers than it is on the 32, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Is it true you can read the truth in someone's face, despite their words?
I know you, Chanchantra. I have heard your many heroic deeds, and words of your adventures have spread throughout the land. Is it true you can read the truth in someone's face despite their words? It is true, isn't it? Roba's face is pale, and you need no special ability to determine how nervous she is in your presence. Then I will just tell you, for you are sure to find out about it anyway. I was an adventurer for hire, a champion of Gondor. My friends and I sought to earn coin by lending our swords and our skills to folk in need, but we weren't very good at it. Our guardian, Drofli, was more brave than sensible. Our minstrel Kulian never did learn the value of silence when enemies were about, and I have waylaid my sword in inopportune moments. More than once. I confess it. When the war ended, we decided it was best for all that we were to have to leave the adventuring life behind us. Kulian took up farming, the dear fellow, but it was a short-lived experiment, and he has left that behind too. It did not suit him either. So we all came to settle within the White City, and through a series of misunderstandings and some ill-advised boasting, my friends and I caught the attention of the Council of Gondor. The next thing I know, our Lord Master Isterion is speaking before those noble lords and ladies, insisting that we are expert wedding planners all. What do I know about weddings? Little enough. So we have stumbled our way into something of a real adventure. And if we cannot perfect this wedding ceremony, we will be in real trouble. Will you help us?
What a relief it is to hear you will help us.
Every wedding should be perfect, of course. But the weight of responsibility for this particular wedding is even greater. For all the eyes of the kingdom will be upon it. It means a great deal to me that you will not betray our secret. With your help, it should not matter that my friends and I know so little about such preparations. Already I've sent them throughout the city to get whatever help they can. Here, I have penned some letters of introduction authorizing you to work on my behalf in all wedding-related matters. Bring these to our Lord Master Isterion, and he will tell you how best you can help us. You shall find him outside of the Tower Echelon in the Plaza of the Fountain. Okay. Well, that makes sense now why she wanted to come all the way up here out of the way. So I guess we will go ahead and do our best to help. And there he is right there.
You were here to help plan for the great wedding? Good, good, good.
There is still so much to be done, but do not let that frighten you away. I've often found that the largest tasks are the most rewarding, just as long as you do not give up before you are begun. You ask Asterion if he needs any help researching wedding customs, and he blinks at you, the smile frozen on his face. Oh no, I gave up on that, he replies. Kuferion and I did learn some interesting tidbits from a number of hobbits over there, but I did not find their advice very promising. Their hobbit traditions felt very quaint to me, and not all appropriate for such a grand wedding as this must be. You are welcome to consult with them if you like. There to the south of the Tower of Echelon, I believe. Let me go ahead and adjust the sound really quick here. There we go. To find the helpful hobbits south of the Tower of Echelon. Okay, there's the tower, and we want to head south over here. No. Oh. You have found the hobbits who helped Asterion, Frodo Baggins, and Samwise Gamgee. Oh, no, 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 no. We'll talk to Frodo first.
How nice to see you during a time of celebration and not during a time of war.
You tell Frodo that you are helping Rodwin and her companions in the preparations for the great wedding, and he nods thoughtfully. That is very good of you. Aragorn is dear to me, and I want his wedding to be all for which he and his bride might hope. Are Rodwin and her companions up for such a challenge? I've spoken with a number of them now, and in each of these planners, I admit to you, I have recognized something. He smiles knowingly. They're in over their heads, just as I was during the quest of the ring. Just as we all were. Well, that turned out all right in the end, so too might the wedding ceremony. If there's anything we can do, let us know and we will help. And Sam?
There has been a lot of wedding chatter in the air, you know.
And I'll have you know that it's not the easiest thing for this Gamgee to talk now. Take that Asterion fellow. He spoke on and on about how grand this wedding should be, and how it'll be talked about for years and years, and maybe so. But I can't help but wonder if that's not the most important thing. Maybe I'm just a hobbit with hobbit ideas, but it seems to me that the wedding should be just as Arwen and Strider want it to be. Does it matter what the kingdom thinks of it, or for how long it's talked about? Sam falls silent and sniffs the air. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Mr. Frodo and I weren't the only hobbits who spoke to the wedding planners. Merry and Pippin talked to them too, and when they finished they went off laughing, looking very pleased with themselves about something. It might be worth looking into. Those two are always causing trouble of some kind or another, if you follow the smell of their pipe smoke. Could be you'll get to the bottom of it. Southwest, huh? Yep. The fragrant smell of pipe smoke lingers on the air. Merry and Pippin came this way. Nope. There they are. You find a pair of amused hobbits laughing and smoking. Of course. We'll talk to Mary real quick here.
Good day to you. Why don't you stay a while?
Have a smoke. There's room for all. What's on your mind, friend? You ask Merry and Pippin about the preparations for the upcoming wedding, and they share a conspirational look before doubling over with laughter. When Merry has once again caught his breath, he apologizes and tries to answer your question. It's going to be a real sight to see. It seemed to us that those wedding planners might not actually have been to a real wedding before. And you know, Pip and I have been to plenty, so we're experts on the subject, you might say. So I gave Clefairy a detailed account of the most important Shire wedding traditions. It was the right thing to do, wasn't it, Pip? How did they go again?
Well, Harry, everyone knows that the Shire wedding... You've got to follow the traditions.
There are 4 elements that must be present at the ceremony to be a success. The bride needs to carry or wear something old, right? And they should pair it with something new, which represents the new life she's starting with her husband. Merry nods solemnly, which causes Pippin to break out into laughter again before resuming. And that she needs something borrowed as well. Maybe a garment or a cloth or a small pocket item of some kind. And then, most important of all, everything has to be blue. The two hobbits start laughing again. And through their gales of laughter, you could just make out gasps of everything blue. All the decorations, everything. They've got to be blue. Oh my God. Oh my. You need to find Kuferian before it's too late. Examine the fruits of the hobbit's mischief at the base of the ramp from the 7th circle in the 6th circle of Minas Tirith. Oh my God, these hobbits. I swear, I don't know. I don't know. They're gonna ruin everything. Oh, let's see what sort of trouble these hobbits have gotten us into. There he is. OMG. And there's Legolas right there looking it all over. This pile of decorations is assembled as a suggestion of a pair of mischievous hobbits. And it shows. The decorations are indeed, as Merry and Pippin suggested, overwhelmingly blue. Good old Legolas.
Not everyone is as familiar with our hobbits as we are.
Legolas speaks solemnly, but the son of Thranduil cannot completely mask his amusement. Not everyone is as familiar with the hobbits as we are. Am I right to suggest this must be the doing of a certain Brandybuck and Took of our acquaintance? Yes. And here's Kuferian.
Those hobbits weren't really wedding experts at all, were they?
He asks, staring wearily at the pile of blue decorations gathered from all around the city. Not really experts at all. There's a lot of that going around these days.
Was any of the advice those hobbits gave to me truthful?
I need to come up with a good use for these decorations. There has to be something. But now I have a more urgent worry. Was any of the advice those hobbits gave to me truthful? They spoke of someone called Gandalf, a wizard they claimed to be in this very city, and said his fireworks cannot be missed. Is it true? You are sure, Kuferian, that Gandalf is indeed a master of the art, and his fireworks have truly remarkable reputation for excellence. You say that he has likely heard of the wizard before, for in these lands he goes by another name. Mithrandir? Ah, yes, I know of this wizard, although I did not know he dabbled in the construction of fireworks. Perhaps you can find him for me and ask if he will contribute some of his finest creations to set off during the wedding ceremony. I saw him recently in this circle of the city. Look for him to the west. Book 1, Chapter 3, A Little Wizard Magic. And there's Mithrandir. Ah, it's good to see Gandalf again. My fireworks. Oh, I'm sorry. You may remember that it was a time of war until very recently. When Shadowfax bore me hither with young Peregrine Took, I didn't have the luxury to bring any fireworks along with me. You apologize for disturbing him, and the wizard raises his eyebrows at me with apparent amusement. Are you always in such a rush that you cannot wait for an old man to finish speaking? I said I did not bring any fireworks with me on the ride from Rohan, but I did not say I no longer possessed any. Indeed, I've collected 1 or 2 such devices during the time since the war ended, and I have stored them in a small crate in my quarters. Now, aren't as many as I would like. It's my custom with lighting such crackers in the Shire to really fill the night sky with illumination. That was both for the delight of the hobbits, and for my own, I find, speaking honestly. Just a few crackers I have assembled will still bring some small measure of enjoyment to the attendees of the wedding. Go to my quarters in the High Guest House in the 7th Circle and empty the crate of its contents, and I will see what can be done. Alright, so we need to head back up to the 7th Circle. I think I know where his quarters are at. I think I was literally in that room up in the 7th Circle. Gandalf. I'll tell you, it is good to see them here again. Oh, and as you can see, Marilyn now has a quest icon above her head. That's because she's now active. You're now able to get quests from her, I do believe. Gandalf's crate of fireworks is in his quarters, and there it is right there. You retrieve dwarf candles, known for their angular shapes and geometric precision. You retrieve elf fountains, which fall from the sky like a gently shimmering rain. You retrieve goblin barkers, which explode with harsh, goblin-like cries. You retrieve thunderclaps, which have previously been mistaken for actual thunderstorms. Why stop now? Take additional fireworks out of the crate, my quest says. Okay. You retrieve a few assorted squibs from the crate. Not all that impressive, but still important. How many more could there be? You retrieved a few handheld sparklers from where they rolled into the crate's corners. There couldn't possibly be more in here, could there? And you are a little disappointed now to find that the crate is empty. And he said he only brought a few with him. Right. Right, Mithandir, only a few.
I am sorry there were so few fireworks to gather up.
So few, he says. You express your surprise that the wizard could count such an armful of fireworks as merely a few. When Mithrandir responds with a twinkle in his eye and a laughter in his voice. You must have never seen one of my fireworks displays before. These few will have to do.
But on to other matters.
Some time ago, I observed our friend Gimli walking with one of Rodwin's companions, a dwarf I know to be called Rafli Broadshield. Greeted them both, and Gimli responded heartily that he and his new friend were going to the Splintered Shield, and there might be some time away. Oh, I asked of them, and Gimli responded that they planned to determine the words Elisar and his bride should use to bind their love during the ceremony. We will not emerge until we have settled upon just the right words for their vow, he proclaimed. And I suspect he meant it. Perhaps you should go to this tavern and check on our dwarves. It would not do for Gimli to miss the wedding. And if he keeps his eye on the ale and not on the sun, he very well might. The splintered shield is in the second circle. So what we will do now is we will head to the horse, and we will take the horse down to the second circle. Did I miss it? Ah, here it is. Now, second circle, I do believe, is the soldier's tier.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Okay, we should be pretty close to the splintered shield. Ah, I know it's right here. I think this is the splintered shield. Yep, here it is right here. Ah, and there's Gimli right there. Ah, looks like him and Joffrey are passed out. Of course. Let's see if Gimli's got this figured out or not. Gimli blinks at you and you awaken him from his stupor.
Ah, you have found us. Hard at work.
It is true. All the folk here in this tavern have been helping us find the finest vows to be spoken by Aragorn at his wedding. Elisar, you know who I mean. The ale here is quite good. It was Joffrey's idea, to reward every perfect sentence with a mug. Ah, you'd better wake him up. We have so many good words from which to choose. Joffrey awakens with a start, blinking the sleep and the drink from his eyes.
I have had an idea. We should
have the proprietor provide this ale for the wedding feast. As many barrels as he can spare. And that should be no small number. A wedding such as this only comes along but rarely. Ask him this. Ask him, and it will be the very finest of celebrations. Why, if I have anything to say about it, it will merely be as rowdy as a dwarf wedding. The King of Gondor should be so fortunate. So I will go talk to the proprietor. There he is.
I would be pleased to contribute a number of barrels for the wedding feast.
It is the least that I can do for the king and his brides, and I will do so gladly. Gondor is in need of such happiness as theirs after so much war. The dwarves are right on this account. The drink will loosen the tongues of all those at the feast, and the guests will frequently, and at a full voice, toast to the king's health and that of his elven bride. That is my promise to you. Well, that's good.
Well, that is settled. Now to decide on the proper vows for the ceremony.
Will you gather up these papers? Joffrey and I wrote down some good options, and all of our friends here in the Splinter Shield contributed suggestions of their own. And now it is up for us to select the very best ones. So I need to gather up the messy papers. There we go. So we'll talk to Gimli again and see what he has to say.
All right, let us see what we've got.
Gimli reads aloud from one of the papers. Your beauty is without compare, even amongst all the gems of the earth. That one was mine, of course. Do you like it? Together we will lay waste to our foes, and none shall stand against us. That is he written down? I don't know about this one, Drawfully. What else? What else? I pledge to love and serve you in all things. Pretty good. Not bad, not bad. My love for you gives me the strength to... To what? This one isn't finished. Gimli shuffles through the stack of papers looking for more worthy vows. Let's see. True men of Gondor will not forget Castamir. What is this? Who wrote this?
I don't know much about this name Castamir, but I do not like it.
I know it has something to do with a dark period in the history of Gondor. Corsairs leaders calling themselves the heirs of Castamir caused us some problems on our journey from Rohan here to Minas Tirith. And I know it is a name that causes Aragorn some displeasure. That is enough for me. I do not need to know the particulars. For someone to invoke this name now, today, I do not like it. Some villain here in the Splinter Shield snuck this paper in among the others, hoping to disrupt the wedding. Find out who has done this, and we will make them pay for it. Alright, so we'll talk to Degillion, the prospector, and see what he has to say.
What is the trouble, friend?
I assure you that several of my finest barrels will be brought to the hall for the wedding feast. I am a man of my word, and will see to it as done. All I ask is that the lords and ladies attending the feast know that it was Degillion of the Splinter Shield who provided the drink. You tell Degillion that someone slipped a reference to Castamir the Usurper among the papers on Gimli's table, while the dwarf and his companion were dozing. Men speak of Castamir in my tavern? I'll have you know that we of the Splinter Shield are king's men all, and have nothing but respect for his bride-to-be. I say that with all the love in my heart. If you find any who say otherwise, even so much as think it, I will have them cast out upon the street. Never again welcome within these walls, I swear to it. Show me the man who speaks fondly of Castamir, the usurping Kingslayer, and I will report him to the gods of the Citadel. Talk to the... Oh. Interesting. The women insist they saw nothing. And the man over here? These men insist they saw nothing. That's interesting.
Nobody saw anything? Ha! I wager my axe could make them talk.
But this is not my kingdom, and I should not wish to overstep my bounds. Not right before wedding, anyway. Castamir. I remember the Corsairs that invoked his name at Peligir, and none of them would have been welcome at a wedding such as this. Nope. Not even if they cleaned themselves up and wore their finest garb. They were cruel-hearted and evil-minded, and from my gathering it sounds like their idol Castamir was twice as bad. You should go tell Gandalf that there are some at least who might wish to disrupt Aragorn's wedding. Maybe our wizard could work some magic to sniff out these troublemakers and make them think better of it. I should say that is worth a try. If he does not do it, offer my ox in services of the task. That may prove even more effective than magic. So we will head back to Mithrandir and go ahead and show him that letter. Let's see what we can do about it. Because we definitely don't want anybody who is who's in love with an usurper, especially an usurper who caused the death of many, to be here at the wedding.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Head up to the high stables. And we can dismount, turn around, and pick up my horse. My elk, excuse me.
What has brought you back to me so quickly?
Has Gimli exhausted his store of lovebirds, or has he decided to save them for another wedding? It would not surprise me to learn that our dwarf is a poet's heart, as do many of his people. You tell Gandalf about the mention of Castamere that someone slipped among Gimli's papers in the Splinter Shield, and the wizard nods without surprise. Yes, I expected something like this. The folk of Gondor have long memories. Castamere's reign was a violent culmination of kin strife, a chain of events that began with a wedding of which the populace did not approve. Romendasil, the 20th king of Gondor, sent his son Valakar to make peace with Vidugavia, the self-proclaimed king of Rhovanion. Valakar did so, but he did more as well. He fell in love with Vidumavi, Northman's daughter of the king, and the two were married. Many folk in Gondor were displeased with the match, believing that Valakar's marriage would lessen the royal Númenórean blood that any heir produced by the union. Unrest simmered throughout the kingdom. A child was born to Valakar and Vidumavi, and he was named Edikar. Then unrest continued to simmer, until at last he came to the throne. Unrest turned to violent conflict, and Castamere, the captain of ships, brought war to unseat Eldikar. The usurper ruled Gondor for 10 years until Eldikar returned at the head of a Northman army. Castamere was slain, but his son and his allies fled to Pelargir and Umbar, and the underlying discontent that caused the kin strife never truly disappeared. Will the people of Gondor accept the marriage of their king to Arwen Undomniel, daughter of Elrond of Rivendell? The news you bring from the Splinter Shield tells me that some, at least, may not. We should bring word of this possibility to Elisar, though it pains me to trouble him with it. Perhaps you can do this. Alright, I guess we'll go talk to Aragorn and see what he has to say. But yeah, now that we know the whole story, it's definitely, we do not want anybody around who's harboring any sort of positive view of Castamere. I'll admit, I do like coming in here. This place is just so beautiful. And the optimizations they did on the 64-bit server, they really pulled out all the stops here.
You have returned just in time. I planned to send for you.
But I see you have come with me with some purpose of your own. You briefly mentioned Gandalf's worries concerning the legacy of the kin strife and the possibility that the folk of Gondor may not accept Elisar's marriage to Arwen. Your friend raises an eyebrow at that. His demeanor becomes at once more Aragorn than Elisar. That is not a concern of mine. Arwen will be a good queen, and the kingdom will come to accept her. There will be no kin strife this time.
Messengers from Amondine have come to the city, bringing word of a traveling party from the north.
They bring word that a riding of fair folk has come out of the north, and even now they draw near the walls of Pelennor, and my betrothed is with them. Go to the gates of the city and tell Húrin that I will be down presently. I would ask that you then greet the party from Rivendell and let them know that they are long awaited and most welcome in Gondor. Book 1, Chapter 6, The Even Star in Gondor. Well, I'm glad Arwen has made it safely. I will definitely go down and greet them. It'll be good to see the Lady Arwen again.
These are troublesome times indeed.
And we go all the way down to the city stables. There is Hurian the Tall, Warden of the Keys.
The party from Rivendell is outside the gate. Might you bring them our greeting?
The party from Rivendell is outside the gate. I understand you are to bring them the greeting of the city, and I will await the arrival of King Elisar. Very good. These elves are known to you, yes? You trust they intend no harm to Gondor or the king? Then they will be welcome here, and I will permit none to speak ill of them. Ah, there they are there. The elves nod greetings as you approach.
Hail to you, friend of adventure.
Let my brother and I greet you as gladly as we may, for this is a day both of gladness and of sorrow. Gladness for joy of our sister, but sadness too, for she has chosen to walk with her love Elisar, and her people will mourn to be parted from her. While we remain in this Middle Earth, Elladan and I will soothe the sting of this hurt with exploration and adventure, with combat and feats of martial skill. Excuse me. While we remain in Middle-earth, Elladan and I will soothe the sting of this hurt with exploration and adventure, with combat and feats of martial skill. That is our way, and I know it is yours as well.
The journey was a long one, but we would not miss Arwen's wedding.
Let our younger sister heed the wisdom of her older brother. Elladan gives you a playful smile. We are a little more than 100 years older or so than she, but that century makes all the difference in wisdom, of course. Ask anyone, and they will tell you that I speak too. Orphandel and Iristar.
It is good to see you again, my friend. Far from lands where it has been our custom to meet.
There are few occasions that might draw so many from the Hidden Vale to the Long Road, but the marriage of Elrond's daughter, Aragorn and Arwen, is one. She is to wed Elisar of Gondor, but it is not the only name he wore during their courtship. Aragorn he was, and Estelle. While others called him Strider, that name has brought laughter to her lips and amusement to her heart. It is a time for love's joy. There is sadness to it as well. A father's sorrow for the daughter with whom he must be parted. That is another reason so many have come south. For even amid such joy, their dear friend must lose something too. And that is a grief.
Michael Von.
We have come a long way for the wedding of Arwen and Arwen to King Elisar of Gondor, but our journey is almost at its end. I have been chief counselor of Elrond's household for many years, and he has long relied upon my wisdom and advice. But what of these have I to offer today? There are times a daughter's happiness must be set against the father's sorrow. But how often do the sundering seas lie between one and the other? Rarely, perhaps. The choice having been made, for Lord Elrond and his daughter, the answer appears to be always.
A time of great evil has passed, and now hearts will be lightened with joy.
Elrond has long awaited this day, but its arrival was never certain. Now that it has come, let none stand in the way of love's bounty, lest they risk my granddaughter's ire, or my own. I assure you, both may be fearful. And what does the great Celeborn have to say?
I greet you once again and name you friend.
You and I have walked in dangerous places, but let us set aside the memory of them for now, for this is a time of celebration. That there may still be such as these is welcome indeed, though the time of our people draws near to an end. Ah, Master Elrond.
My Govanen, my friend.
It is no small thing to bring so many across the mountains to these distant lands. For the love of my daughter, all here would make the journey tenfold. The defeat of Sauron has made safer the lands hereabout. The road was not difficult, and though my grieving heart tried to slow my steps, the light of joy in Arwen's face kept steadying my pace. For all the knowledge I possess, I cannot solve this riddle. Arwen will be parted from her kindred or from her betrothed, and none of my wisdom can ease that parting. Still, I am here, and would be nowhere else on this day, or on any day that my daughter decided. And the Lady Arwen herself.
It is good to see you.
So much has happened since our first meeting. I have walked for many years in Middle-earth, but I feel something I have never felt before. I am like a young sapling. My life is just now beginning. You know it is a peculiar sensation for one of our people.
I understand the preparations are nearly complete.
You tell Arwen that the Council of Gondor authorized a great number of plans and preparations for the wedding, and Aragorn believes that they are nearing completion. When you tell her that Gimli has some suggestions relating to the vows she and her betrothed might speak during the ceremony, Arwen smiles fondly. I have already given the matter some thought, and chosen words of my own. My love is certain to have done the same, but my heart is warmed by the kind thoughts of Gimli, son of Glóin. May the words of our vows measure up to those of his devising. But is that my betrothed that I see? Has he come down from the city to greet his bride? Chapter 7. The sight of my beloved has stolen all speech from me, my friend. For so long we've awaited this day, and now it arrives. Can it be so? Speak to me, so I will know that it is truly my Lady Undoniel, Arwen Evenstar, and no illusionary dream of my hopeful mind. Burn it. There we go. After so many labors, at last it is time. Come with me, my friend. Together my love and I will ascend the levels of the White City, and tomorrow on Midsummer's Day, we will be married at last.
It was on Midsummer's Day that folk from near lands and far came to the White City to witness the great wedding.
Aragorn smiles at you. I am pleased you could be here on this day of my joy. Take your place beside Merry, my friend.
My Govanen Peredlev, Weavered Toledlin.
Maiomenina, Estelle.
Alei melethnin swila.
Ellen sila lumen omentia ho arimeldania.
I bid you welcome. We come here in time of celebration, that we may share in the joys of peace. Let us rejoice that the war is ended, and that love endures. But remember, too, the coming of the dawn does not mean an end to all shadows. Many are those who gave their lives so we might see this day. Let us pause to remember those whose time has passed and will not come again. Now let us speak of three whose deeds are worthy of especial remembrance. Hail Theoden, King of the Mark! At the hour of Gondor's need, his horsemen broke the siege, delivering the White City from its enemies. Long will the ride of the Rohirrim be remembered in song and with glad hearts. Hail Boromir, Captain General of Gondor! Bravely did he defend his people from the threat of Mordor, with valor known to all. Yet his greatest deeds are known to few. Still, they were no less needful for Sauron's undoing. And last, hail Denethor, steward of Gondor until the coming of the king. Be still! I call for silence. Speak no ill of what you do not understand. Lord Denethor held your foes at bay, though the Dark Lord's malice tested him ever. If not for these labors, this city would have fallen ere any help could come. Few who stand here today could suffer what he endured for so long. Not even I. But let us now turn to more joyful matters. The long night is over, and love and laughter come with the day. Every wedding brings cause for celebration, but no marriage more than this. For the blood of Earendil's children, long parted, shall once more be made one. Aya, Elenion on Kalimar! Let the light you bear shine upon this glad union. I call upon those honored guests who wish to speak to come forward now.
Long in the years of men, but short by my counting, have I known the doom of this day. It was to be the fate of Arwen Undomiel to part either from her kin or from Middle-earth. Now her path is set, and this joy brings great sorrow. Our roads shall not meet again ere the breaking of the world. Yet despite the pain it brings, I cannot wish otherwise. Why would I deem it so?
You know the reason, husband of my daughter. For is love not mightiest of all forces in the world?
So say the men of Gondor. We have not the wisdom of elves, but this much is clear to us. Love gives courage to stand against the hardships arrayed against us. Even courage to part from those dearest to us, son of Gondor? Aye, Lord Elrond. Even so. I have now felt such love, and I know this is true.
I do not wish to speak above my place.
Say on, Frodo. None here hold a place higher than yours.
Well, I was thinking about the Shire. Most of you have never seen it, but it is my home. It is a fair green country where we hobbit folk live, untroubled by the world's great trials.
Mostly untroubled.
Well, we have come a long way from the Shire. On that journey, a friend once spoke to me of the world's perils. There are many dark places, he said, but still there is much that is fair. Though in all lands love is now mingled with grief, it grows perhaps the greater.
This is a saying of the Eldar, Frodo Baggins.
It was told to me by Haldir of Lorien, on the banks of the Silverlode. I think that love and sorrow are often entwined, and each hones the other. If we did not know both, I very much doubt we would feel either as strongly. But I have gone on for too long. Sam wished to say a few words as well.
Oh, I needn't, Mr. Frodo.
Go on, Samwise.
Well, it's only a plain old rhyme, but... Age long, our garden bore no bloom. Left barren cold and buried deep. Far under snows of winter's gloom, the seeds we sowed did softly sleep. And through the wind and sullen frost, they waited well and did not fade. Now, winter dwindles, cold is lost, and sunshine rests upon the glade. Springtime dawns and sprout and shoot, limn the lawns with golds and blues. And with the summer's flower and fruit, the garden glows, awash with hues. And what to thank for all these splendors? None but the kind hands of its tenders. Care well for the plots you mind. Love things that grow beneath the soil. Foster them with thoughts most kind, and joy shall repay all your toil.
Hear, 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 hear.
Well spoken, Master Gamgee. A simple rhyme indeed. Now, to the matter at hand. When two are to be wed, the rights of both elves and men call for the exchange of golden rings. Given events of recent days, however, perhaps it is best to skip this custom, unless our lovers object. Then let their hands be joined instead, and thus reveal their bond to all as they take their oaths to each other.
Though I turn from the everlasting west, I am undiminished. An hour with you brings more joy than 1,000 years apart. When you embarked upon your quest, my sorrow was as none I have ever known. Now we are again together, and so shall stay. I choose Lúthien's path, bound to your fate, as was hers to Beren's. Mainuvan melmetja ter corviarenyar artenoyo.
We are as two fair trees entangled beneath the sun, rooted deep, drinking light together. My heart has belonged to you from the hour I first beheld your grace beneath the leaves. You are my hope, the sustaining flame I bore unto the jaws of shadow. The even star who guided my steps through labor and fear. Mainovon melmetja ter corvirenyar artenoyo.
Nai alaquen embeve tuluva, alaniere nexhuvavet.
Aragorn Elisar, son of Arathorn, will you wed Arwen, daughter of Elrond, and henceforth be husband unto her?
I will.
Arwen Undomiel, daughter of Celebrian, will you wed Aragorn, son of Gilraen, and henceforth be wife unto him?
I will.
Then before the Valar, and the one who stands above all others, and in sight of men and elves, and dwarves,
Oh, and hobbits, don't forget us.
and all free folk, let you be bound together, and the twin lines of Earendil be made one anew. All hail the High King of the South Realm and the North, and all hail the High Queen!
Hail Elisar! Hail Undomiel! Eglario! Praise him with great praise!
Behold! The white tree flowers anew over the kingdom restored!
Mithrandir never fails to impress, does he not? But I understand the ceremony is merely the beginning of the festivities this night. I hope to see you later, my friend.
That was a beautiful wedding, and everything went according to my plan.
Indeed, in that way it was quite different than the plans of my adventuring days. Did you know that my friends and I have already been tasked with arranging further weddings later this summer? All of a sudden, folk of high birth and low seem to require our services, and I've been unable to turn down a one. I do hope I am not making a mistake to say so, but this great wedding was more successful than any other of recent endeavors. Why, no one was injured or maimed at all, which might be worth recording.
But what am I saying? The celebrations are not yet concluded.
After all, there is still the wedding feast to enjoy. Go to the feast hall of Mitheriand and speak to Mitherian, the master foodmonger, once you've had your fill of merriment. There's still much of that to be had. But do be careful, my friend. If anything untoward happens at the feast and ruins the perfect wedding I planned, I will need to return to adventuring or to find another profession. I would rather not. Enjoy the wedding feast. As I find Mitherian. Like I said, as soon as I can find Mitherian. Mitherian inside Melisrond at a table on the east side of the hall when you're ready to conclude the wedding feast. It's got to be upstairs. There she is.
Those two hobbits insisted this be called a banquet for some reason or another.
I am a little unclear on the details, but isn't there something to do with the number and varieties of foodstuffs available? Mitherian casts a weary look at her benchmate Eoreth, who has been nattering constantly for the duration of the wedding feast, and glances disapprovingly at Gellengear, who has launched upon a long discussion of various spices flavoring the many courses. Come, let us inquire with the hobbits. They seem to be amusing fellows, and I would learn more of this land of laws.
Long into the night, the folk of the city made merry and celebrated the union of King Elisar and Queen Arwen.
Thank you for rescuing me. I intend no disrespect for any of the fine folk at my table, for they are all worthies of Gondor in their own ways. But some of them can be most tiring. Come with me, my helpful friend, and I will see the hobbits with whom I have spoken, right over there. The kittens have been kept busy for days. If such a feast in the Shire is commonplace, that must be a land of plenty. Well, my hobbit friends, does this banquet of Gondor meet your expectations? Look, it is, Pip. Shanchantra and our friend the foodmonger. Hello there. What do you think, Pip? What did old Flower Dumpling have to say about the courses on offer here? Oh, yes, Mitherian. I think that this wedding feast can stand quite comfortably alongside the very finest of Shire banquets. Just listen to what we've had already. There's been pottage, and ham, and pea, and leek varieties, breads, with butter and honey, plenty of game, coney, venison, and boar, roasted meats, beef, mutton, and goat, lots of fish, salmon, pike, and eel, enough fowl for owl, grummet, capon, goose, duck, pheasant, and heron, eggs if you want them, just like Grandma used to boil, assorted greens and vegetables, if you've still got the room. Savory pies and pastries. I like the ones shaped like trees and stars especially. Cheeses and olives. So many cheeses. Stewed fruits. Apples, pears, plums, and cherries. The desserts have been particularly good. The pastries, creams, jellies, and honeyed almonds. And that is not to mention the wine and the ale. Don't forget the mead. To answer your question, Master Foodmonger, I would say this is quite the banquet, and we hobbits heartily approve. I am pleased, and a little exhausted, to hear it. Enjoy yourselves, my friends. We spent enough time at the tables of the Rohirrim, Mary. Let us go back to my table. Come on. Whoa! We can't cut through here. We shouldn't interrupt the dance. Follow me. Pippin! Welcome back, Master Peregrine, and greetings to you. It is my pleasure to introduce you to my wife Gilithil, and I believe you've already met our son Bergil. He was quite the troublemaker to Minas Tirith, running through the lower tiers with his friends. He's found new ways to cause mischief in Illithim. But he is a good lad, and at his age, I was much the same. I must confess to you, I did not think I would be welcomed back to the city for the king's wedding. But word was sent to Lord Faramir, and we could not refuse. My husband grieves still for the lives he took. I have told him again and again that by his sword he saved the lives of Lord Faramir. I know, my dearest, I know. Still, the king's justice was merciful and fair. I'm bored. How long will they dance? Is this almost over? I think it is lovely. How beautiful a queen this elf maiden makes. I hear her brother's arrows can split an orc's skull in twain from 300 yards. Bergil, silence. This is not the time to speak of it. I know, that's why I'm bored. Jadra, I should think we should see Theodore Redbeard. His listeners appear to need rescue. And so, with our horses refreshed, we crossed the Merrick stream and made road hard through the Beacon Hills. We were so close, but not yet close enough. We were beset by orcs and Veriegs near Amon Din. We broke through the line of Veriegs, but they did not pursue us. I think I now know the reason. They knew the road ahead would be held against us. Thurin pauses in his tale, seeming to see you for the first time. Oh, Chandra, pull up a seat. I was just telling these fine folk of Gondor about some of my recent adventures. Listen again to Thurin's tale of his exploits. In the darkness of night, we came to the western flank of the encampment in the Durodan. And do you know what happened? This is very interesting, but we were nearly turned into pincushions by Grimbold's sentries. Can you imagine? Well, in a time of war, I myself would have. But then, at the last moment, one of the archers recognized me by the spectre of my beard. It glowed crimson in the guttering light of their single torch. Is every man of Rohan so bold, and yet so protected by fortunate stars? Many, but even I am no match for Eomer, who is now king. The tales I could tell you of his courage. Come along, Thrym. Someone at another table wishes to hear of your grand adventures. Who desires to hear such? Oh, that was easy. It's... Master Meriadoc, wait! You will have to thank your halfling friend for us, Enchantra. I might have heard more of Eomer, Father. That reminds me, I was given a message for you. One of the wine stewards came by earlier, before our friend Rohan launched into his full-throated tales of bravery. This steward asked if we would do him the kindness of delivering you to him if you chanced to come by our table. He said it would be downstairs. And now that I've executed this charge, perhaps I will learn what else my daughter would hear of the new king of Rohan, and why speaking of his name brings such a blush to her cheeks. So let me see what the wine steward wishes. Is it here? No. Must be this way. Ah, there's the wine steward. Oh, there you are. I am pleased that Prince of Dol Amarath gave you my message, but it is urgent and I did not know where else I might turn. There's something of a problem, you see, and I need you to ensure it does not get any worse. Some rough sorts have gathered outside, and I'm afraid they might intend to disrupt the wedding feast in some way, and they were asking for you. Here, take these bottles of wine out to them. Could be that an offering of peace will send them happily on their way, and if not, well, your deeds are well known, and such rough sorts as these may take one look at you and decide it would be best for them to go elsewhere. Be careful, though. They are gathered outside, right through those doors. So let's see what sort of rough sorts these are. Uh-oh. Grey Company. You owe me a drink or three. But we got to talking. And my companions thought you deserved the honor of a raised glass. Do not be fooled, Chanchantra. It was Radomir's idea. Quiet. The chieftain of the Dunedain has his throne. Gondor has its king and its queen. The Grey Company has fulfilled its oath, and so did you, Hunter. To the Grey Company! Who can say when we will be once again when we will all be once again together? Each of us has his business elsewhere, some in the north, some here in the south. It would have been a shame to not mark the occasion. Is it so unusual? We all feel a kinship with each other, born of our sacred duty. It is strange to me we must now separate. Lothrandir wishes to return to Furashel, the land of the snowmen, so I will travel with him part of the way with some others of the company. Check out everyone aside once again in Evendim, but on the way we will pay a visit to Ceradan and learn of his tale of his own return to Eriador with our fallen brothers. Idhirion and Langlis plan to stay a while at Esladin with Mincham. Angwed has not yet decided where he will travel, just that his road lies to the north. If he has a place in mind, he has not shared it with us. I think the wilderness calls to him. Radomir smirks at you. You know what calls to me? The food of the Northlands. The food this feast is too richly made, too covered in sauces, too soft, and there's far too much of it. There isn't anything to sink your teeth into. Give me the crusty bread and old cheese that have taken in a day's ride from Bree. That is all I need. Grey Company rode from Eriador to aid the chieftain of the Dunedain, and now many of us will return to our homes. But not all. We all have our own reasons, for the king has not set a bond upon us that we do not choose for ourselves. But therein remains the question. What shall be done about the land that lies on Gondor's doorstep? Mordor lies there, the Black Land, and who knows what sorcerers the Witch King may lurk within the Morgul Vale. I will help my king to combat these evils, and so too will Daenerys, and Ferron, and Mithrandian. Others of the Grey Company may decide to do the same, but they must choose for themselves. We have done here what we intended, but I wager that some may discover to wish they do more. Gondor awaits an era of peace, but it will not arrive without we who are willing to fight for it. The quests of the Grey Company, getting faction with the Grey Company was, I think, some of the best in Lord of the Rings. Just the stories and the things that were done and everything else. Looking forward to doing that again on Angmar. But one of the archers recognized me by the spectre of my beard. Oh. Oh, Thrym. I played my part as well as I could. Were your friends able to surprise you? The wine steward glances at Theron Redbeard, whose long-winded description of past glories has shown no sign of cessation. Indeed, he may have started anew. Perhaps you could go back upstairs and see if my services are needed. I'm sure they must be needed for more wine. It simply must. Let me start over. Receive the call to... no, thank you. Let's go talk to King Elisar and see if he needs anything. He's not up here. Where is he? Go. I was trying to remember that command during the wedding ceremony and I couldn't remember it. Ah, there he is. I hope you are enjoying yourself. I confess to you that much of tonight has passed by with dizzying speed. But it is a joyful motion, and I would trade it for nothing else. Might I ask a favor of you? Earlier I spoke with Faramir about a matter of some importance. I am interested to learn if he has come to a decision. Would you speak with him and determine us to be so? My dear one does me a kindness, but I am more interested in this decision than is he. It is a pleasure to speak with you, my friend. I saw you earlier when our halfling friends ran by the table on their way to do some mischief. It was a spirited chase and brought a smile to my lips. It has been rare enough in these days since, well, the past few days. Faramir falls silent, and you take the opportunity to ask if he has considered the topic by which King Elisar inquired. Faramir studies you quietly. He told you not the subject of our discussion? He is more subtle than I expected. Or perhaps it's the hand of his queen that makes him so. Ah, you are indeed a friend, so I will speak freely. The king knows that my heart has been captured by the Lady Eowyn of Rohan. She has returned to the Riddermark in the company of her brother while they prepare for the funeral of Theoden. And while she has been gone, my heart has been in darkness. Ever she occupies my thoughts, and I know I'll never again feel happiness or joy while we were apart. I dare not hope she feels the same, and would not. For I would wish her no unhappiness. I thought to ask for her hand in marriage, but I am full of worry. It is just this Midsummer's Day that makes me dwell upon it. What if she does not feel the same as I? Begging your pardon, Prince Faramir, I am sorry, for I hate to intrude. You need not apologize, dear Samwise. Well, it seems to me that folk of Gondor always make things too complicated. Maybe that's fine and normal down here. In the Shire, we prize when things are simple. I see. It is true that there's a lot of marriage talk in the air. And it makes me blush to think of it, since I never thought myself the type. Uh-oh. But I am rather of a mind to get married myself, when this is all over. Do you have a particular girl in mind, Sam? I wager you do. And so what if I do, Master Frodo? I think I understand your advice, Master Samwise, and I thank you for your hobbit wisdom. I shall ask for Eowyn's hand the next I see her. Dear me, I am pleased that Prince Faramir has made up his mind. But to be completely honest with you, I had not quite gotten around to the advice I intended to give him. Still, all is well that ends well, which it will if Lady Eowyn agrees to his proposal. If she does not, I fear the reputation of hobbit wisdom may suffer in Illithin and Gondor. Oh dear. Well, what is that? A great commotion draws your attention to the west side of the feast hall. Take a deep breath, my friend. All will be well. Now, is there a problem? They just barged in, my king. They are causing a commotion in the kitchens. Of whom do you speak? Oh, sorry. Of whom do you speak? Ah, now I see. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, Grimborn. You are most welcome here, son of Beorn. I'm told there was to be a feast. Indeed, Grimborn. Our courtesy, of course, courtesy demands one attend the ceremony before one attends the feast. And you have missed the ceremony. Uh-oh. One wedding is much the same as any other. Is there a place for me? There will always be such a place, son of Bjorn, both for your father's heroism and your own. Good. Find a table to your liking, and food will be brought with all haste. I need no servants. I brought my own. This way. Talk to King Elisar. My goodness, I cannot believe it. Oh my. Those dogs were part of the, one of the instances I did a while ago, many streams back. I expect Grimborn and his animals will enliven Mithraeon for a long time. Good. That will give us a brief respite from all the celebration. But Arwen and I would like to speak to you in a more quiet setting. Let us find out.
There were days when it seemed the shadow would never pass. But it has lifted at last.
Thank you for lending such support as you have to my husband during your adventures and his. There were days when it seemed the shadow would never pass. But it has lifted and not on its own terms. No. It was through the effort of many folk, all throughout Middle-earth. And you was not the least of all. Our wedding has been everything for which I had hoped, and I am certain my husband feels the same. Arwen looks around the throne room, and in the dim light of the grand chamber you see an amused smile dance across her fair features. But we will need to do something about this throne, she remarks.
I imagine my kingdom has not seen a wedding like this for many, many years.
I see it reflected in the fervor of my people's celebration. The war has ended, and they are gladdened to have joyful cause. We spoke of some trouble in the history of my kingdom, do you remember? I told you I did not think it would be a problem, and so I still think. I have studied the faces of my people on this Midsummer's day, and this I have learned. They will come to love their queen. She will be a patient guardian of Gondor and all its folk, and I will be, as I will be, and together we will restore what glory there is to be had in this age, and whatever ages there are to come. Thank you for all you have done. I speak not only of your service against the forces of Sauron, but also for all you have done as my dear friend. But at last the history of Gondor is written. One will be counted more important than the other. But know that in my deepest heart I will measure them equal. For Aragorn may be selfish, where Elisar may not. He smiles at you, a wolfish grin that brings to mind the shadows of a distant tavern way back in Brigand. But you'll not hear me admit it again, my friend. The peace of Middle-earth must come above my own happiness. Talk to Mithrandir outside the Tower of Echelon in Minas Tirith.
It has been some time since Gondor saw such revelry.
The folk thirsted for it without knowing what they desired. Such a night of celebration will be good for them. The peace of Middle-earth is hard won, my dear hunter, but it must be defended if it is to remain secure. Not all threats are gone with sorrow, as you well know, and other evils that are in the wide world that must be faced with bravery and resolve. Can I count on you to continue to stand against these dangers, so that the love we celebrated today can last into the days and the months ahead? A wedding is but a beginning, my friend, and so is this great wedding. But there are those in this world that will see the joy of it and resent its presence. My time upon these shores draws nigh, my friend, and I want to know that these lands will know peace beyond my departure, and I will be counting on you on this, or for those you choose to follow in your stead. Someone will need to defend the happiness we saw today. Someone will need to safeguard the peace of Middle-earth. But we will speak of these matters again, my friend. For now, you should do us a city. Eat, drink, and be merry. And looking at the old clock on the wall and what time it is since I started this late, I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go ahead and end my stream here. I would like to thank everyone for joining me for the wedding. Excuse me. For the wedding of Arwen and Aragorn. I would like to thank you all for being here. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. We will continue this on Monday, where I'll probably pick up right where I started, right here, and we will start working on the celebration of Midsummer. And my next scheduled stream will be on Sunday, for SWTOR Sunday, where I will continue the adventures of the Imperial Agent. And we'll see where that story goes. But until then, I thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.